Dear God, I mean, why are you still Mormon? Why do you not want to study the church? I'm born and raised Mormon. I'm studying the church. I'm learning the truth. Joseph Smith, the good guy, his church gone. I want it restored. How simple is that to understand? Why do Mormons hate me? That they want me dead? Unless they know that it isn't the true church. That they are the enemy that is seeking to overthrow America and the rest of the world. Even Russia. To stab Russia in the back. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because there's nothing the church can do to convince me they're true. Nothing. Not a single Mormon can bear a false testimony to me to convince me I'm wrong. That's next Sunday, not this Sunday, tomorrow. Why can't Mormons understand this? I'm under full attack. My life is destroyed. And here I am, doing a video for you. And you still won't believe. Travis Wing, good self. So now it's that time of the day where the fan had to be turned on. And I don't understand why Democrats are all excited that the one justice is retiring. We know exactly what's going to happen. Yes, we know exactly what's going to happen. She will not get confirmed in the Senate. They'll hold the hearings, and Democrats go, wow, she's perfect, we gotta have her. And the MAGA and the two Dems, nope, not gonna confirm. And so she won't get in. We know this is gonna happen. Because the MAGA will say, oh, it's too close to an election. We should wait until after the election. And the Democrats will, give up. And then after the election, MAGA takes over the world and we're all doomed. And we don't get to have an election in 2024. We know this is coming. They've already told us they're doing it. It should not be a surprise to anybody. So, no new hair sniffing for Biden. I finally got the weekend edition on SNL. Okay. So, Joseph Smith has got some weird stuff going on in his history. And we're going to go over another part of it. Alright, so the first part we need to go over is his experience in Harmony, north of Pennsylvania, or north of Pittsburgh, with the Methodist preacher. Verse 21. Some few days after I had this vision, you guys, he says spring of 1820, but I wonder if he didn't know the precise date of the birth yet, because he does eventually figure it out. Has women given the priesthood and priesthood office on the date, but and it's close to the spring. But anyway, some few days after I had this vision, I happened to be in the company with one of the Methodist preachers That would have been the religion of the Hale family. Is it Emma Hale or Hales? We'll get to it, so I'll correct myself when we get to it. And who was very active in the before-mentioned religious excitement. And conversing with him on the subject of religion, I took occasion to give him an account of the rock and a hat that I was using and was arrested for on 20th of March, 1826. So it was very close to that date. I was greatly surprised at his behavior. Our firstborn son had just died. I lost the 116 pages to Martin Harris, not his wife. He treated my communication not only lightly, but with great contempt, saying, "Glass looking is of the devil, and there was no such thing as visions and revelations in these days, and all such things had ceased with the apostles. That there would never be any more of them until Brigham Young comes out and claims that Joseph Smith was actually a witch." And Brigham wasn't a witch. He had no powers that Joseph had, but he's the true successor of Joseph. I soon found, however, that my telling the story had excited a great deal of prejudice against me and among professors of religion. Yeah, the Methodists. And was the cause of great persecution which continued to increase. Yeah, they banished him and Emma's family from the Methodists. They had to leave town, go somewhere else that used to be named Harmony but was no longer called Harmony, but might as well call it Harmony, because who would have Google search in the future to find that county's website that says that it was no longer called Harmony before the Smiths got to Palmyra? He was no one of consequence, yet men of high standing would take notice sufficient to excite the public mind against me and create a bitter persecution, and this was common among all the sects, all united to persecute me. And so, yes, Joseph Smith was constantly having to run for his life, to be moved from different locations. So I relate to this. So yeah, great sorrow, persecution, and reviling. Alright. So down, down, down we go. Hell. So 1823, he says Alvin died. Now pay attention to this, because this is weird. In the month of October 1825. Okay? You with me? I hired with an old gentleman by the name of Josiah Stoll, who lived in Chenango, Harmony, Susquehanna County. Nope, sorry. I'm reading the next line under. Chenango County, state of New York. Okay, so we hired with Josiah Stoll October 1885. He had heard something of a silver mine having been opened by the Spaniards in Harmony, Susquehanna County, state of Pennsylvania. Sure. And had previous to my hiring to him been digging. Chenango, by the way, is exactly above Bainbridge, where Joseph was arrested for glass looking. Because the nephew of Josiah Stowell sued Joseph Smith for not finding any silver for Josiah Stowell, his uncle, and took him to court, glass looking, 20th of March, 1826. They've found the court records on that. Bainbridge, right below Chenango. And it's in Chenango County, but yeah, it's right there. And yes, that's where Joseph gets married. He doesn't even say that he eloped here, but anyway. He had heard something of a silver mine, and had previous to my hiring to him been digging in order, if possible, to discover the mine. After I went to live with him, when? In the month of October 1825. Okay? He took me with the rest of his hands to dig for the silver mine, at which I continued to work for nearly a month. November 1825. Following me so far? Without success in our undertakings, and finally I prevailed with the old gentleman to cease digging after it. Hence arose the very prevalent story of my being arrested for glass looking. A money digger. You see how weird that is? 20th of March, 1826, and he's saying, nope, I stopped after November 1825. You forget that easily? Or is there something else going on that you're trying to tell us? Something that the real church history reveal for us, so that we can understand the coded message here that you just gave us? During the time that I was thus employed, see, pay attention, because it gets weirder, I was put to board with Mr. Isaac Hale of that place. It was there I first saw Emma. On 18th of January, 1827? That's more than a month. During the time that I was thus employed, which was October to November, worked for nearly a month without success, and I finally prevailed in ceasing to dig, ceasing to work. Editor. And so 18 January 1827, they were married, while I was yet employed in the service of Mr. Stowell. Even if it was 1 year, it still doesn't work. It would have made more sense, but it still doesn't work. Because 1827 is 2 years after, well, yeah, a year and a few months. So you see what's happening here? The whole time period is purposely messed up. We've got an incorrect name, Harmony, Susquehanna County, Pennsylvania. We've got incorrect dates, October to November 1825, where he worked with Josiah Stowell. Yet he then goes on to say that he was still working with him 2 years later. So this was October, so he had just had his 1825 visit at the Hill Cumorah, with 2 more left to go. So when he gets married, he had already been to the 1826 September Hill Cumorah. But there was also something else that happened on 9/11 of 1826. And Joseph does not talk about any of that. Why? Why not? What is missing in the historical records that the church refuses to allow us to know about? So much so that they've even gone to the Wikipedia page applicable after I came out with it to alter it even more than it got altered from the beginning. Yeah. Canandaigua, New York, 1826 of September, 9/11. Right before Joseph was supposed to go to the Hill Cumorah that year. That's William Morgan. He was writing a book, paid for by the Batavian Press, and he kept getting arrested for false charges, unable to complete the book. In Canandaigua, New York, not Batavia, where he had a home, where the press was that gave him the money to work on the book. He didn't do it at home in Batavia. He went all the way to Canandaigua to work on the book. Where Joseph Smith Sr. was the Master Mason of the same York rites that William Morgan was in. I wonder how many 116 pages William Morgan was able to accomplish before having to flee the country with Master Masons helping him. Did his book ever get published? I wonder. I mean, obviously it's not the Book of Mormon, because Nelson just came out with a big news thing. Oh, we've got the original manuscript pages, and we're now having a $1 billion book, volume number 26, to the collection. And notice the Miller family donated so that it could be accomplished. The church doesn't have money to do this? What is our tithing used for again? Oh, right, the hoard money. How many trillions does the church have in total assets and asset value? And they can't pay for that work that required the Miller family to donate? See, this is frustrating. They're the biggest scam artists in the history of scamming. They're filthy rich, and it's because they don't spend any of it. Everything is from donations. And they take those donations that the Miller family gave, they invest 10% of it into a separate LLC corporation. Because that's what they told us they did. Parable of the talents. Rainy day. Dear God. And so Yeah. So if you look at the timing of the real history, you have 9/11, September 1826. Joseph Smith Sr. helps William Morgan flee the country, takes over the responsibility of the Book of Mormon. And so people are right when they claim Mor is for Morgan and Mon is for Monroe, who was found dead in the lake up by Niagara. Joseph gets married 18th of January 1827 way over in Bainbridge, north of Harmony, Susquehanna County, Pennsylvania, no longer called Harmony for a number of years now, probably even a decade at this point, because the Postal Service can't deliver to two Harmonies in the same state. The 1826 September 11th event was so severe of a persecution that people were hunting for any and all responsible. The Masons who helped free William Morgan out of the country were put on trial. They were given a light sentence, and it's comparative to the sheriff who was hired to search for the body of William Morgan. The sheriff hired a tracker. The tracker tracked him up into Canada, learned that he had chosen to go to the East Coast to take a boat out of America, and that's where he lost him. Other reports have found that the boat had sunk. The storm came in, sunk the boat. Other reports show that he had made it, was rescued by fishermen, taken to the Caribbean islands down there, and spent some time down there, got himself a new wife, and lived his life fairly well as a fisherman himself, until another storm capsized his fishing boat, had to be rescued again, and he took him and his family, new family, down to Honduras, where the church now has some kind of a center, like almost right across the street, said William Morgan's new ancestor or descendant. I found that. I was like, wow, okay. Because he was saying, this is the story that my family has passed down of what happened. Wow, okay. So he didn't quite understand that Brigham Young was the bad guy in all of this. But he says he knows the church must know. Yeah, that's not a good thing. But yeah, he apparently lived the rest of his life as a banana plantation owner in Honduras. Sold the bananas in the United States, where Masons were there at the port to receive them and then sell them in America. But so you can see Joseph was already being accused of glass looking. In 20th of March, 1826, September 11th, 1826, everything hits the fan. They're exposed. The enemy finds out that William Morgan is writing this book to expose the threat to America, the New Jerusalem, and Joseph Smith Sr. has to have him flee the country. Now, it's in Canandaigua. Masons are involved. Joseph Smith Sr. is the master mason. So he's got to go on the down low to distance himself from the book. Joseph now gets married. January 18th, 1827. People can't find the manuscript pages that had already been written. The 116 pages are gone. And so you can see where this is heading. Lost the 116 pages again? No, it's because Sidney Rigdon was given possession of them. Because Sidney leaves before all that happens, or right in that time period where he was right next to Harmony north of Pittsburgh in 1826, and then he's over in Ohio. And so, do you see why it's necessary to distance Junior from Harmony north of Pittsburgh all the way over south of Bainbridge, where Josiah Stoll was? See what they're doing? They're having to duck and cover. They're trying to avoid being killed so that they can finish the publication of this book. And Joseph gets banned. Is it July? In section 3 of the Doctrine and Covenants. July 1828. And so I've already revealed to you in another video that section 10 is wrongly dated, because it says summer of 1828, yet these other passages 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are in order before it, and now we have summer of 1828 again. No, I told you, I've gone to the Joseph Smith papers, was copying and pasting so that I can restore the documents, found, nope, 1829. Church made a blunder here on purpose to cover up the truth. And so, yeah, right here at the beginning of 1828, a marvelous work is about to come forth among the children of men. We're almost finished with the book, and oops, section 10. Yeah, this is how you're going to be a translator again, and this is how we're going to fix the error that you made by losing the 116 pages. So we're going to have you redo the 116 pages, and then you'll go into this portion of the Book of Mormon to continue on. Oops! This is what happens when your life is in jeopardy. You don't necessarily think everything through clearly for the future. And so it's September 1827 when Joseph gets the plates, the gold plates. Oh my God. The guy tells us in that little clip that I did earlier today that Joseph Smith, according to his own account, and he doesn't even quote him correctly. He says golden plates. Dear God. Purposely deceiving. Oh, I'm quoting Joseph. It's according to Joseph's account, golden. Not gold. Joseph is wrong again. It's not Nephi, it's Moroni. It's not gold, it's golden. They want it to be literal, but they don't want it to be literal. Dear God. And so, owing to my continuing to assert I had seen a vision, I'm a glass looker, was arrested, 1826, March 20th, persecution still followed me. See, Joseph Smith Jr. is not the one being persecuted because of William Morgan. Senior is. And so Senior has Junior be the front man now. But Junior blew it already by screwing up by getting arrested for glass looking. So they have to wait a whole year before they can come out with Joseph Smith beginning to work on the Book of Mormon, whereas Sidney Rigdon's already been working on it in Ohio for a year. See, he continued on after the 116 pages. Now, do you see the bigger picture and what the church is covering up from us? As they're coming out right now, before I am about to be silenced. I don't know which time tomorrow. It could be at midnight. Could be when the banks open. That's likely what it will be. But I don't know if my internet service will then receive a notification saying that the money was denied. And if they'll send me an email saying, hey, we didn't get your payment, give us our payment in a certain number of days or we're going to shut you down, or if they'll just shut me down. I don't know. I've never been in this situation before. I'm just assuming this is it, the last day. That's why I created a new playlist for these videos. And it's not working, as I'm getting even less views having done this. Everybody's gone to church, didn't you? You didn't stay home to watch my video of the Sunday school lesson. I mean, it's got sex and violence for men. And it has drama and crying for women. It's perfect. So where were we? Oh yeah. The correcting of the historical time frame, or timeline. And so yeah. In 1827, I can't remember. Let's find this out and get it official. I've already got the information for the records, for the historical records, but all right. Aftermath, the Anti-Masonic movement. Here we go. Alright, soon after Morgan disappeared, Miller published Morgan's book. No, he didn't. He didn't finish the book. It wasn't his book. He was trying to make money to recoup the damages. It was just the 3 degrees of Masonry for both Scottish rites and York rites. So, no, it was no shocking secret revealed. Everybody knew it. All you had to do was attend the meetings as often as occasion would permit. And you'd know how it was done. But you'd still have to go through the formalities to become a member and advance in ranks. But everybody could watch the ceremonies, which became a bestseller because of the notoriety of it. Yeah, they needed to make money. They had paid him to write the book, and he never finished. Miller did not say that Morgan had been murdered, but that he had been carried away. Accounts circulated of Morgan having assumed a new identity and settled in Albany, Canada. See? Or the Cayman Islands. See? Where he was said to have been hanged as a pirate. No, he made it to Honduras. New York Governor DeWitt Clinton. I don't think he's a relative, or at least a direct one. Maybe a cousin, I don't know. But don't go on to, oh, it's the Clinton conspiracy. Soros. Also a Mason. And see, they generalize it here. Which Masonry? Scottish or York? Offered a $1,000 reward for information about Morgan's whereabouts, but it was never claimed. Yeah, they have to keep it a secret to save his life. Circumstances of Morgan's disappearance and the minimal punishment received by his kidnappers. No, they weren't kidnappers. They were assigned to get him out of the country. Caused public outrage, and he became a symbol of the rights of free speech and free press. There it is. No, it's politician. They're not talking about the press person. They didn't. They don't have a link to the Anti-Masonic movement. No, that's party. We need Anti-Masonic movement. Oh, God. Britannica, Anti-Masonic Party. The party disappeared after 1838. Interesting. Late 20s, disappearance of William Morgan, ultimately become a prominent critic of the... He wasn't a critic of the Masonic organization, he was exposing a plot to destroy America. Dear God, guys, come on. See, even the Masons messed this up on purpose to keep you from knowing the information that he was divulging. The time has passed, it's now, we need to know that information. Many believe that the Masons had murdered Morgan. Yeah, murdering his own. Yeah, against no. Everybody knew those were not the sacred secrets. Subsequently, many churches and other groups condemn Masonry. As many Masons were prominent Oh my God. To the 1828 elections, the Anti-Masons began to adopt positions on other issues. See, they're not talking about the author of the news, or the reporter from the newspaper who caused the whole scandal. Dear God. Public indignation? Yeah. Let's see if Britannica can help us out here. No, go away. In the history of the United States, popular movement based on public indignation at and suspicion of the secret fraternal order known as the Masons or Freemasons. There are opponents of this society seized upon the uproar to create the Anti-Masonic Party. how did they know about the uproar? They took out the name of the author from the newspaper who put the information there that went all over the colonies, the United States, that they burned down the temples. There were over 600 or so, and it was less than 10 remaining. I think it was like about 6. That's the damage of this William Morgan incident. And they're purposely keeping out that information. Dear God. Broke his vow, so he has to be murdered. When no trace of Morgan could be discovered, rumors of his murder at the hands of Masons swept through New York and then into New England and the mid-Atlantic states. Yeah, everybody knew, but they're not telling us who. Because Martin Harris was part of this anti-Masonic movement, as he was made one of the members of the committee in Palmyra. This is crucial to the story of church history. So, they're just erasing history for us. So, anyway, I can't give you a date, but I remember it was in 1827, because it had to do with the hearings in courts and all of that the press was covering all this. So this one guy published, it went all over the place. Everybody was finding out that the Masons were a threat to America, burned down the temples, and so yes, when you get to Heber C. Kimball under Masonry, that's what he talks about. He says that the Canandaigua Lodge burned because of this anti-Masonic movement. And so the records are gone that he was approved for the rank of Royal Arch Degree, which is rank number 7 in the York Rites, skipping from Master Mason that he got the year before. Heber C. Kimball reveals information about the guilt of Brigham and Heber. They are the enemy that were a part of hunting down who was responsible. And so it wasn't the good guys trying to find out who kidnapped and destroyed his manuscript. No, they were wanting to find it, to destroy them, to silence it. And so Joseph gets married during this time period. He just turned 21, so he's barely legal. If you remember, the Constitution said that the age of an adult was originally 21. It was an amendment that made it 18. But anyway, and so this whole year, Joseph Smith seeks cover by getting married. I did that when I got out. I knew that I was going to be under attack, especially trying to free myself from my freedom in incarceration still. The church has a Nazi concentration camp here in Utah that they don't want you knowing about, and so they call it a different name. It's not just the conversion therapy, conversion shock therapy for gays being done at BYU. That they just stopped last year. And now they're being investigated by the FBI. I don't know why you need to spend so long investigating this. Oh, we stopped it. We're no longer racist. We stopped being racist in 1978. Oh, we stopped being sexist with the Edmunds-Tucker Act in 1887. We stopped being bigots in 2021 with the stopping of the conversion shock therapy. We're Christian now. Jesus. Religious freedom. Back off. And so, listen to this. Owing to my continuing to assert that I had a vision. He's making this about him. It had nothing to do with him. Persecution still followed me. 1827, the persecution was the Anti-Mason movement, burning down the Masonic temples. And my wife's father's family were very much opposed to our being married. And so we eloped. And listen to locations here. Very telling. I was therefore under the necessity of taking her elsewhere. Sure you were. So we went and were married at the house of Squire Tarbill in South Bainbridge, Chenango County, New York, where Joseph Smith was arrested as a glass looker. You see what they did here? If you didn't know, the information about Fayette, New York being the place where the church was established was Manchester, the farm. That's where the baptisms were, and it's too far away from Fayette to be in Fayette, establish the church, and get to Manchester to do baptisms. It was Manchester where the church was established with 6 sons of fathers to establish the church of the restoration of the 6-pointed star, not the inverted 5-pointed star by another organization on May 1st, 1776. I did that video for you not too long ago. And so Bainbridge is over by the old Harmony, no longer called Harmony, Susquehanna River, Pennsylvania. So you see how he's wording this. Well, I was way over there. I wasn't over north of Pittsburgh where Sidney Rigdon was with Solomon Spaulding manuscript. See, they're purposely trying to distance, to revise the history so that they won't be discovered. But Heber C. Kimball discovered it. In his account under Masonry in Wikipedia, he found out. So as much as they tried, they failed. Joseph was assassinated for it. Immediately after my marriage, I left Mr. Stoll's and went to my father's and farmed with him for that season. And so there he was, all ready to get the plates at the Hill Cumorah and begin. Right? They took a year off to go into hiding, to lay low, have everybody calm down, no more temples to burn except for the 6 that got away with it. They're now Masonic cultural halls after that incident. They don't dare call them temples anymore. Joseph did. Kirtland Temple. No inverted pentagram. And so, at length, the time arrived for obtaining the plates, the Urim and Thummim, and the breastplate. On the 22nd of September. Dear God. All these signs getting fulfilled, all these... I guess I shouldn't have exposed them, I guess. Should have just let you die. Why warn? Nobody cares. It's my last day anyway, and why am I bothering to do videos for you? The church just finds out and goes, oh, whoops. We'll reschedule. See, Putin reschedules. He takes his time. He doesn't care about fulfilling prophecy according to the time frame given. He'll wait it out. You know, if other people want to push the time frame, great. He'll fall right into his trap. But, yeah, the church likewise is doing the same thing. Let's see. Keep them safe. Don't use them for money. Yeah. 200 pounds of gold. Although the amount of gold, or the value of gold, was less in those days, during other years, but it's still a lot of money. But yeah. Let's see here. The persecution, let's see, for no sooner was it known that I had the William Morgan manuscripts? He didn't. That the most strenuous exertions were used to get them from me. Every stratagem that could be invented was resorted to for that purpose. Persecution became more bitter and severe than before, and multitudes were on the alert continually to get them from me if possible. But they remained safe by the wisdom of God, until I had accomplished that by them what was required in my hand. When according to arrangements, the messenger called for them, I delivered them up to him, and he has them in his charge until this day, 1838. Yeah, they were put in the Nauvoo cornerstone, not chief cornerstone of the cornerstone, might have been preserved better that way. May 1838. The excitement, however, still continued, and rumors of her 1,000 tongues was all the time employed in circulating falsehoods about my father's family and about myself. He was the master mason. Joseph Smith was arrested. Let's see. Persecution, however, became so intolerable that I was under the necessity of leaving Manchester. and going with my wife to the place of persecution in Susquehanna County, Pennsylvania. He was there for a month, but then was there after the marriage. Which, did you notice? Immediately after his marriage, he leaves. He's no longer working, but he's still working after the marriage. If you're going to tell a story and lie about it, make it a believable lie. Don't have these little things that'll expose you. You need to protect your life, especially. While preparing to start being very poor, you've got 200 pounds of gold. Pure gold. And the persecution so heavy upon us that there was no probability that we would ever be otherwise. In the midst of our afflictions, we found a friend in a gentleman by the name of Martin Harris, who was a part of the Anti-Mason movement in Palmyra that he used to work for, who came to us and gave me $50 to assist us on our journey. So remember, he's poor. He can't afford to buy the home from his father-in-law in Harmony, Susquehanna River, Pennsylvania. Right after losing the 116 pages. Oops! I thought he didn't like you. Mr. Harris was a resident of Palmyra Township, Wayne County, in the state of New York, and a farmer of respectability. Sort of. He was very superstitious. Very idolatry worshippers. Okay, and then the month of December and the February farm. Let's see, wait a minute. I was enabled to reach the place of my destination in Pennsylvania, and immediately after my arrival there I commenced copying the characters off the plates. Copying characters off the plates? That's curious. Why aren't you translating? Weren't you supposed to translate? Or are you copying characters? Interesting. Maybe you were rewriting the 116 pages in your handwriting, not William Morgan's, which I did between the time I arrived at the house of my wife's father, where? In the month of December and the February following. Sometime in this month of February, this is 1828 now, a aforementioned Mr. Harris came to our place. Oh, he came to your place in one of the harmonies. Really? Got the characters which I had drawn off the plates and started with them. There's some missing information, obviously. And then went to New York, and that information has been corrected. So, yeah, several months to make the Anton transcript. It takes him that long to copy characters? Yeah. I went to the, let's see, City of New York, let me see the certificate, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah, they leave out the part of Martin Harris betraying. You have to go to section 3 to learn that Martin Harris is the wicked man, not his wife. Yet we're told it's the wife who is to blame. I couldn't even find him in the documents on the Joseph Smith papers. Nowhere. It's Martin Harris is to blame, not his wife. You know, I found the original history that, again, I did the video. 5th day of April, 1829. So, yeah, we missed out on July from section 3. That's when all hell broke loose. His firstborn dies. No mention of it here. They go to the Methodists for comfort, because that's Emma's family's religion. And hey, you're a glass looker, get out. We don't want your kind. So did they go directly to the Manchester farm? Yeah, he would have to. He can't stay in Harmony. But they wrote it that way. And so, yeah, it was 1829 for section 10. And so Joseph Smith lost his gift of translation for that whole year. And then in January, or February, section 4, February 1829, this is the second official record about the events. And now behold, a marvelous work is about to come forth among the children of men. It wasn't about to come forth in section 3? The works and designs and purposes of God cannot be frustrated, neither can they come to naught. Doesn't sound like it's about to come forth among the children of men. So the next time we hear from them, now behold, the marvelous work is about to come forth among the children of men. And then in March 1829, Martin Harris has desired a witness at my hand. Really? I thought he was the wicked man, denied. The marvelous work is about to come forth among the children of men. March 1829, Martin Harris desires to be a witness of the gold plates and born record that you have received of me. And Martin Harris denounced it. I never saw him. It was just a vision, because I'm a superstitious man. I wanted to belong. I didn't want to be played for a chump. And you have a gift to translate the plates, and this is your first gift that I bestow upon you. I have commanded you to pretend to no other gift. Send you woe unto this generation. No other gift until it is finished. See, this is March. And I got Martin Harris now. After him losing 116 pages. And deliver my words unto the children of men. Not believe. Unbelieving, stiff-necked generation. My anger is kindled against them. Wise purpose shall be known in future generations. Right now. Through you. Testimony. And so Joseph Smith hasn't translated the book yet? And he's already got witnesses? Oh my goodness. Desolating Scourge. Oh man, there it is. Verse 19. Section 519. I refer you to section 45, verse 31. Oh, damn. They did know. Oh, dear God. Utterly destroyed by the brightness of my coming. Destruction of Jerusalem. Hither to be verified. It's the New Jerusalem of America. Yield to the persecutions of Martin Harris no more. Yeah. They're trying to say that Joseph Smith is ready to begin again, and they get Martin Harris back. But from July 1828 to March 1829, nothing was done. Supposedly. And then a marvelous work and wonder is about to come forth among the children of men. Huh. Wow. Yep. See, they only say Harmony, Pennsylvania in the church history. They don't say, but it's not. They had to leave. He could not stay. Methodists won't let him live in the town. He's a criminal, a witch, and was arrested, charged $2.68 as a misdemeanor fee. And so you can see that, again, Joseph Smith had to lay low. He got Martin Harris. He was copying the characters for that 3-month period of time in the beginning. Martin Harris comes down, does the New York thing, and then comes back, starts working on the 116 pages. July, it all hits the fan. Joseph's firstborn dies. The Methodists banish him. Martin Harris steals the 116 pages and takes off to Palmyra to his committee fellow anti-Mason committee members. And so Joseph goes into silence for a whole year to lay low again. After William Morgan, they had to wait for a year to lay low. Now Martin Harris, they've got to lay low again for a year. Then they go back to Martin Harris because he's the only one they know with money to pay for the publication, which is about to come forth among the children of men. Oh, it was a miracle. He got it done in 3 months. Yeah. So 116 pages with Martin Harris. That took, was it December? It was February that he got the characters. That would have been 1828. And then would have come back, but it doesn't say how long he was in New York. Okay. So, does it say in just the month of February? Sometime in the month of February. And so, we'll say March. So March, April, May, June, July. 5 months. 5 for 116 pages that had to be rewritten, and got rewritten in 3 months along with the rest of the book. Huh. Okay. Maybe we can cut it down to 4, but no, we can't. 3.5. Well, 4.5. So, yeah. So then section 10, summer of 1829. This is what we're going to do to fix the problem. In the summer, when we just found out it was in March when they got Martin Harris to pay for the book, but not be scribed this time. He's now a witness, but he's not a scribe. It's Oliver Cowdery now. And they still wait a couple of months, a few months. Say March, April, May, June. That's when summer starts. 3 months, they wait still. A marvelous work is about to come forth. They wait 3 months at least till the summer of 1829. We've figured out you can be a translator again, as we told you back in March, but you're going to have to wait until the summertime, and Oliver Cowdery's now going to help you. And where are they? Harmony? No. They go to the Whitmer farm. That's what happens. See, Oliver Cowdery. Let's go back to the Joseph Smith history with Oliver Cowdery. On the 5th day of April, wait a minute, I thought it was the summer. Oops! We forgot that we wrote that, didn't we, Dad? Oliver Cowdery came to my house. Where? How did you pay for a house when you were poor and the money man to publish the Book of Mormon was gone? You still need somebody to pay for it. You get the home in Harmony, Susquehanna River by your father-in-law? I don't think so. And so Oliver Cowdery comes to my house, until which time I had never seen him. I don't know him. I've never had pictures taken with him. It's because Oliver Cowdery had been working as scribe for Sidney Rigdon. That's what's happened. And so now they've finished it. They're doing the finishing touches to take it to the print press in 3 months from now. In the summer. Which is even later than this. Dear God. Joseph. Let's see, come to my house. I've never seen him before. I don't know him. Oh, he's a relative? His father and my father were a part of the New Israelites in Vermont? What? Let's see. Okay, so 7th of April, I commenced to translate the Book of Mormon. Are you sure it wasn't the summer? And in May, this is when the angelic signs in the heavens for the tetrad of 2014-2015 that I did the videos for and nobody cared about. And the name of Messiah, not Jesus. Go figure. And so, yeah, I just Wow. Unbelievable. Oh, are you kidding? Section 10. Yeah, I don't know. See, in March he gets the gift back, but this is how he is to figure out how to fix the problem. Nevertheless, it is now restored unto you again in the summer of 1829. Oops! Bombshell! On the last day that I will be able to speak to you. See that you are faithful and continue on until finishing the remainder of the work of translation as you have begun. 116 pages. Do not run faster than you labor, blah blah blah. Satan seeks to destroy you. Satan, Satan, Satan! The devil! There's an SNL skit on that, isn't there? Today has been an SNL day. Yep, and there's the Solomon Spaulding manuscript again. So, yeah, this is what happened. The manuscript of William Morgan was given into the care of Sidney Rigdon. Oliver Cowdery was the one who delivered it to him, so that it could be far away from Canandaigua, New York, and the Smiths. So as much as people were looking for it, burned down the Canandaigua Lodge, among the others, nobody could find it. And they waited a year. And then Joseph now gives the story that, hey, I've now got the plates. Martin, help me be the scribe and pay for it. And he then takes advantage of Joseph's weakness with the death of his kid, and the Methodists booting him out. And so Joseph goes back to the Manchester farm. Harris goes to Palmyra, and so they lay low. They have the farm, or they have the land bought by Hale in the other Harmony, as Joseph supposedly has money now to pay for his portion of land to build a home, and lay low there, staying out of the way, so that Martin Harris can't find them, and such forth and forever, and wait a year. And then they go back to Martin Harris. Hey, book is about to come forth among the children of men. You want to publish it now? It's been changed. But he doesn't get translation ability until the summer. But the narrative in 1838 says, oh no, it was April. That's when they began again, and he got his gift back. Although March says that he got the gift back. But, yeah, that's what really happened. That's why it was so fast. It wasn't divine help this time. So, there you go. Alrighty. There's the corrected history. Just remembered we need to continue to talk about the translation done in the Whitmer home, because it's Harmony, Pennsylvania. Which Harmony? In 1829. And so Oliver Cowdery goes to Harmony Susquehanna River, Pennsylvania, to help Joseph with the translation. Why then are the Whitmer home being involved? churchofjesuschrist.org, history dot, translating the Book of Mormon in Fayette. In 1828, Peter Whitmer's 23-year-old son David had some business to conduct in Palmyra, about 25 miles away. That's about a day's journey walking. And for a horse to go that distance, they need rest. I mean, if you can get them going faster, but that's a day's journey. So if something's being done, let's look for Fayette in New York. Okay. So it's straight east of Canandaigua, between one of the, I guess those are Finger Lakes. Is that what they're called? Because they look like fingers, even though the glove of Michigan lakes, the Great Lakes. So yeah, in between Seneca Lake and whatever this other one is. Okay. And so Pennsylvania is Crocodile Dundee. Pennsylvania? Don't know the cities to tell. I see the... Yeah, okay. So that is Pennsylvania. And so it's closer. It's like almost north of sort of. Where's Bainbridge? Alright. But yeah, it's more north of the Bainbridge location. So it is closer, but it's a day's journey away from Palmyra. So it's several days away from Bainbridge. That's purposely done as a distancing here. While there, he heard talk of a young man. In 1828, huh? When in 1828? They don't give us the month. Who allegedly found gold plates. No kidding, I thought it was golden. The church keeps telling us it's golden. Containing ancient writings. David paid little attention to what he supposed was idle gossip until he met a school teacher named Oliver Cowdery. Oliver told David, "Hey, your sister's fine. Is she single? I want to marry her someday." That he believed there was some truth to the matter. Did he? Some truth, Oliver? Some. And that he planned to travel to Harmony to meet Joseph himself. Yep, they had Oliver also put out information to have corroborated of the cover story. Just like they did with Parley P. Pratt, who was a member of Sidney Rigdon's congregation. Oh, he just happened to be in Palmyra and given a Book of Mormon, and it just happens to quote some of his words so that he would see that, oh, wow, this is like something I would have written. It goes back to Sidney Rigdon's congregation and says, look what I found. Let's join their church, Sidney. Oh, okay, I'll give up my preaching and go join this other church. I wonder if they'll let me redo the Bible like I wanted to do with Alexander Campbell and the Campbellites, but he said no, he was only going to do the New Testament. I wanted to do the whole thing, and so I left. You see how this all fits in together now? So yeah, Smith Sr. had to orchestrate this whole other narrative, and he blows it. But nonetheless, I can see the other narrative he's putting out there. David received a visit at his father's home in Fayette months later. Oliver Cowdery and Samuel Smith and Joseph Smith's brother, were on their way to Harmony. Samuel was in on it. Interesting. Interesting. So there's confirmation. Thank you, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So we need to do a copy and paste of this for the historical records. See, the church doesn't realize they're exposing things that expose them as being frauds. That they are trying to keep covered up. And they didn't realize they were supposed to keep this covered up. Okay, we gotta go down to here. Do you remember the 22nd day of September? I'm organizing the church. April 6th. It's not Fayette. Sorry, church, you're wrong on this one. It's Manchester. Manchester United. Alright. Save as it ever was. Save as it ever was. Alrighty. Save for the historical records to correct it. If only the church knew. We'll all be gone. Alrighty, so let's see, where were we? Samuel Smith. So yeah, Hiram was made a prophet, seer, revelator, and patriarch upon death of Senior. Only Joseph and Hiram, not even Samuel, were prophets, seers, revelators, and then the unique ones to their particular office. Not Brigham. How does he go from preaching authority, not even allowed in a town where the church is already established, has no authority in such places, to claiming he's now prophet, seer, revelator, and translator, well, not translator, they don't want that, prophet, seer, revelator to take over the church upon Joseph's death. Yeah, I buy that. Not. Alright, on their way to Harmony. David later remembered Oliver promising that as soon as he found out anything, either truth or untruth, he would let me know. True to his promise, all good, Oliver sent David letters during the spring of 1829. In them, he shared first-hand details about translating the golden now? Golden plates, and gave his testimony of a revelation given to him through Joseph Smith. I say 6. This was in 1820. Oh, in spring of 1829. Yeah, March. Or no, it was March, wasn't it? With Oliver Cowdery. Right? Section 5? Revelation given through the prophet Joseph Smith at Harmony, Pennsylvania, at the request of Martin Harris. No, that's Martin Harris. Section 6. Through Joseph Smith and Oliver Cowdery. April 1829. In the spring of 1829. Yeah. Section 6. In them, he shared first-hand details about translating the gold plates. Oops! Not until the summer. Oops! And gave his testimony of a revelation given to him through Joseph Smith. Oops. Oliver, you're the cause of the problem. I see. Although, yeah, his history supports Oliver's mess up, I guess. Yeah. Oops. Later that spring, David received a third letter. In it, he learned that frequent interruptions were slowing the translation work in Pennsylvania. Interruptions? What interruptions? Joseph and Oliver asked David if his father's family would open their home and allow the work to continue there 100 miles away. Dear God, that's almost 4 days if you go strong. My goodness, without horses. They don't say if they had horses. I would assume they had horses. But, so yeah, at least 4 days away. From the challenges facing the prophet at home. In the house that he paid for rather than paying for the Book of Mormon. Saving for the Book of Mormon. The Whitmer family agreed, and David helped Joseph and Oliver move the work to Fayette in summer of 1829? Okay, I see what's going on here. I see how they covered up the situation and how it got screwed up. Oliver claims that he was helping back in April, but the Doctrine and Covenants says that it began in the summer, but it was Harmony and not in Fayette, and they then go to Fayette to commence the translation, which was record-breaking speed time that took less time than the 116 pages that had to be rewritten. And supposedly the small plates were a different language, because the Book of Mormon is altered Egyptian. The small plates were in direct Egyptian. And so if we had the characters of the small plates rather than the altered Egyptian plates, I would have been able to decipher those and translate them. But that would have also helped me with the altered versions but yeah. Again, didn't happen. Don't take it literal. So there you go. In a little more than a month, Joseph Smith was able to complete the translation. Oh, whoops. That's worse. I have to make a correction. Oh my God. Oh my God. A month and a half after June, getting to the river farm. It's right here. Three months for the 116 pages. Oh my God. And now just a month and a half from June 1829 to July, or August, I guess, a little bit into August. Oh, wow. The handwriting. I had this question from the earlier video this morning. The handwriting from two of the original Book of Mormon scribes has not been completely verified. Yes, it has. Or at least the linguistic analysis has been confirmed. But it is likely, yes, let's speculate that they were members of the Whitmer household. Nope. So, do you see what had to be done here? In order to get the Book of Mormon published, it was necessary to go into hiding for a year. And then they'd come out, check to see if everything's okay, and try to commence it. But they had to go in hiding for a year, several times. But they finally got it because they had the distraction go into hiding several times, where the actual work was being done by Sidney Rigdon and Oliver Cowdery as scribe, and apparently Samuel is involved with it, helping out. And it's unclear if Hiram was or not, the older brother. But yeah, that answers a lot of questions. And so, yeah, in case you didn't know, I've fulfilled the restoration of Joseph's Church. I had started a YouTube channel and had been doing some videos talking about it. I have fulfilled the latter-day prophecy of Ezekiel 37, which is the same as the brass plates from the Book of Mormon. From the Egyptian documents, I have produced the corrected translation of the Bible. On academia.edu, I have a reverse engineered translation. I have the different passages from the Old Testament showing you Egyptian equivalents. I've done videos for you as well, explaining it for you. Every now and then I'll throw in Egyptian stuff, I throw in Paleo-Hebrew stuff for you, so that you would know me. And the church, just like the Smiths, or the enemy of the Smiths, Heber C. Kimball, are trying to murder me. Like I said, this is my last day. I am just like Joseph Smith. And Mormons are about to have me murdered, assassinated, just like they got Joseph Smith. As I have no one to take me in and give me refuge so that I can actually complete the work into a manuscript form for publication. See, the Church History Corrected, all in videos, not transcribed onto text. But I've got the records of the people. I've got all the records now of Joseph Smith. I just need to assemble them all together to restore his original scriptures. I've got other scriptures to be included with all that. And I'm about to die. People do not understand the seriousness of the situation. And you will no longer hear from me after today. And it will then be too late. I went over a 7-hour video series of Exodus patterns, hoping that would get somebody inspired. Nope. What are we to do with you? Scripture prophecy already tells us what's going to happen to you. I sacrificed my day to give you my final words. And nobody cares. So, this might take me into the evening. This might be the last video of the last day. Maybe if inspired, I'll do a quick summation video, but this is going to be long, take a while to upload as well. Apparently you guys don't remember or were never told about what life was like in Nazi Germany for the Jews. They had to hide. They had to be hidden by their neighbors in their homes, just like Joseph had to hide, to have a cover story, to protect his life and his family's life. And Senior, who had to distance himself. With the Masonic temple destroyed, he had to, disavow any knowledge of Masonry. Disavow from his son. That's his son's thing. He's the magic man with a rock and a hat. Not me. No. I didn't learn that from Justice Winchell from the New Israelites. Nope. A whole new cover story. They had to go into witness protection by themselves to avoid being murdered so that they could publish the Book of Mormon. And I'm the one who decoded the Book of Mormon for you, as I did another version of it today. This is it, the fulfillment of the Book of Mormon. During these 7-year period from 2017 to 2024. We're right smack in the middle of a tetrad. The great and abominable church has been exposed. The false Christ of the great and abominable church has emerged as he fails miserably to be a prophet, seer, revelator, and translator. Can't get cornerstone, capstone translated correctly. Instead, he puts chief cornerstone of the cornerstone. Can't translate Israel correctly. A mortal man, mortal parents, is to be born through Jacob now instead of Esau. But instead, let God prevail. And then claims Jesus is our Christ, exposing him as the Antichrist of Mormons. And Mormons miss it. And the true Christ, Mormons are about to murder. Do you not understand the importance, the significance, that you are just living in silence to get away from you and never happen? There will be no Zion. There will be destruction, but there will be no Zion. And why is that important? Section 45 tells us. Zion and New Jerusalem, a land of peace, cities of refuge, places of safety for the saints of Amen. It will be the only place on earth that will not be at war. And it doesn't exist, and it's about to not have any hope of existing. The great and abominable church is about to pull off the biggest coup of coups. And Mormons are just letting it happen with their silent apathy. What we are about to experience here in America is going to be far more horrific than what happened to the Jews in Nazi Germany. And it's right upon our doorsteps. The enemy has already revealed their plan for us. And it's going to happen this election. That's when it starts. Dear God, guys. How could you let this happen?